Red lines and viral times, major global news, tech, cyber mayhem, and culture shocks. September 14th September 14th through the 20th, 2025.
This is the RusNkaZ show. Bam bam, calling shots like a maestro. This is the RusNkaZ show, where the wild and the crazy grow. Turn it up, feel the rhythm flow. Hustle rock, bam bam, let's go, let's go.
Good evening, universe. This is Bam Bam, your host and co-conspirator in tonight's journey through the biggest, baddest, and frankly, the weirdest headlines from September 14th through September 20th, 2025. Welcome to the RusNkaZ show, where we don't just walk the red line, we hopscotch back and forth over it with both feet. Tonight, we're slicing into the chaos like a hot knife. Through trending TikTok buddy, we'll hit war zones in Gaza, digital carnage in JavaScript world, jaw-dropping Emmys, breakthroughs, AI's newest existential nightmares, Olympic-level protests, historic sports upsets, business revelations, and the strange viral power of bad beauty reviews. Buckle up and sink those earbuds deep. So pour yourself something strong. You might want to get some coffee or just a Dr. Pepper with some strawberries and cream. We're talking about breaking news, broken boundaries, and the very real breaking points of our institutions, democracies, and yes, your social media doom scroll. Let's get right into the fire. World in conflict. Gaza, Colombia, Niger. Gaza City offensive. All bets are off. Let's start with Gaza. Because if there is one place where the word crisis actually means something, it doesn't just cut it anymore. It's there. It's a real crisis. On September 15th, Israel unleashed the main phase of its Gaza City offensive, aiming to seize control from Hamas as part of its ongoing campaign dubbed Operation Gideon's Chariots 2. Civilians, hundreds of thousands, were caught in between as at least 53 Palestinians lost their lives in Gaza City during concentrated Israeli bombardments. UN confirmed famine conditions? Check. Ongoing systematic destruction of residences, schools, and entire neighborhoods? Absolutely. By the 19th, somewhere between 450,000 and 550,000 Gazans had fled, mostly to already jam-packed so-called safe areas in southern Gaza. If you think that sounds like forced demographic engineering, you're in good company with actual international lawyers and desperate to resign IDF officials. Israel's goal is total control, buttressed by extreme military might, and the threat of destroying Gaza City unless Hamas buckles. Meanwhile, Hamas claims to have moved hostages into the city to act as bargaining chips. Human shield. No one knows where the hostages really are. We've been talking about hostages for so long, but no one really knows. Are they still in those underground passages or in maybe another country already with them? But outside in Israel, they're protesting outside Netanyahu's home, begging him to halt the operation for fear their loved ones will die as collateral damage. International reaction? The U.S. tactically backs the offensive, while much of Europe, the Vatican, and the broader Arab world heap condemnation upon Israel's government. Good luck finding a path to actual peace in this climate. Now let's switch gears to another country, Colombia. The FARC shadow returns. Flip the dial to Latin America just as Colombia imagines it has put the FARC, F-A-R-C nightmare in the rearview. Dissidents rebel slam into the newsreel with a revenge attack on a police station in Caca. On Sunday, September 14th, FARC offshoots refusing to sign the 2016 peace deal killed one police officer and wounded 4 with grenades and automatic fire. Videos flooded across Colombian Twitter of terrified residents ducking for shelter, underscoring the local terror as government troops rushed in to restore order in a region basically ruled by traffickers and rogue warlords. Government officials acknowledge that dissidents use civilians as human shields, and the military admits it is losing ground in several Kaka municipalities, and ministers blast Petro's security strategy, and local leaders clamor for state help to keep society itself from collapsing. It begs the question: Colombia's post conflict era, myth, mirage, or just the world's slowest civil war replay? Niger, Islamist insurgency's bloody ambush. Elsewhere, elsewhere on the world's scorched geopolitical chessboard, Niger suffered a brutal blow. On September 11th, a patrol was ambushed in Talaberi by militants, likely an Islamic State affiliate, leaving at least 14 soldiers dead. The tactic blamed? They were drawing troops out with a fake robbery and then slaughtering them in the kill zone. The region bordering Mali and Burkina Faso is a laboratory for Africa's deadliest insurgencies. Think Al Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, Hamas, all fighting for relevancy over piles of bodies and abandoned villages. Since the 2023 coup, Niger's military rulers have promised and mostly failed to restore security. The world barely notices, but for millions in the Sahel, every new headline reads like a death threat from invisible enemies. And our mainstream media doesn't even cover it. It's not even on the last page of their newspaper. Erdogan's protests and global showdowns. Ankara erupts. Erdogan's rule teeters on the brink. Can you say democratic backsliding? Because tens of thousands of furious Turks just shouted, Erdogan, resign! In Ankara's Tendagan Square. The trigger? Looming court cases threatening to oust opposition leader Asgur Azel's CHP party, widely seen as the judicial coup by Erdogan's government. Over 50,000 protesters waved Ataturk banners and Turkish flags, packing Ankara's main arteries the way fans filled Berlin at the fall of the actual wall. CHP's Azel railed from the stage. This government does not want democracy. They can't win elections if democracy, transparency, and justice prevail. Ankara hasn't seen such a public anger outside election day since the city last faced tanks in 1980. With local elections tipping to the opposition and mayors now arrested, Erdogan's hold on power looks shakier than it has in a decade. Executive madness. US president's borders, TikTok and labor showdowns. Stateside, the executive branch has been churning out orders and proclamations faster than TikTok churns out new memes. National POW MIA Recognition Day, September 19th, because solemn pageantry never gets old for the US presidency. The gold card? No, not the elite credit card, but the renewed immigration fast track for high skilled workers. Constitution Week 2025. In case you forgot your First Amendment rights in the age of deep fakes and algorithmic censorship, Memorandum of Understanding with the UK cultivating a so called technology prosperity deal against the backdrop of splintered digital trade and AI regulation. Further extending the TikTok enforcement delay September 16th. The TikTok ban remains theoretically on the books, but policy enforcement punted is punted until at least December 16th. Is this strategic ambiguity, big tech lobbying, or an administration afraid of losing the youth vote in an election year? Threat for another day. Cyber mayhem, deepfakes, AI heists, and the NPM disaster. Weaponization of deepfakes. $200 million heist season. Let's talk about cyber carnage, where the financial and psychological stakes just keep escalating. In the Q1 of 2025 alone, deepfake-enabled executive impersonations caused $200 million in losses. The UK's engineering giant Arup lost $25 million thanks to a CEO video call featuring nothing but AI generated avatars. Consider this. With only 20 to 30 seconds of someone's voice, scammers stitch together an entire arsenal of fraud ready personalities. Voice and video deepfakes are now so realistic, even trained security staff can't spot the fakes. Frauds don't just hit the C suite, they're leveraging non consensual explicit content, political disinformation, transnational scams, and AI powered malware kits you can buy on Telegram. State sponsored APTs from China and Russia have industrialized AI for facial recognition, surveillance, and disinformation, turbocharging nation state cyber operations. Fun times, right? You can just put an avatar online, hey, make it look like some executive, and hey, 20-second video, and you got their numbers. Just act like you're their assistant. Boom. You call them by spoofing your phone number or whatever. Chick. And now you got $200 million. How easy is that? Man, maybe we should all become criminals. What do you guys think? The NPM supply chain apocalypse, billions at risk. Now, for the JavaScript ecosystem, September 8, 2025 is a day that lives in infamy. The great NPM heist rocked open source developers when 18 and counting of the world's most downloaded JavaScript packages were hijacked by malicious actors via targeted phishing attack on a key maintainer. During the 2-hour window of death, over 2.6 billion weekly downloads were compromised. The malware didn't just steal code credit, it deployed a cryptostealer browser code that hijacked user wallets and transactions across Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, and others by swapping destination addresses and modifying transactions at the browser level. If you thought software supply chain attacks were bad before, imagine every SaaS, wallet, and e-commerce gateway on the planet potentially host. Biggest lesson? Human error, phishing, urgency fatigue will always be the weakest link. Even in the most technical communities, are we in for a decade of NPLM had a bad day? Probably. For a technical breakdown, check Palo Alto Network's report here, or Armor Code's updated package list here. The Regulatory Overload and EU Data Act. If your nerves aren't already frayed, let's add some legalese. EU's Data Act is now fully enforced on September 2025. It goes far beyond GDPR, guaranteeing users access to data their devices generate and imposing strict rules on IoT portability and cloud service interoperability. Meanwhile, 8 new U.S. state privacy laws are joining the patchwork. Hello, Delaware, Iowa, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Tennessee, Minnesota, Nebraska, Maryland, each with its own quirks and compliance headaches. If you thought data privacy was hard before, you haven't lived through the September 2025 compliance death march. The only solution for businesses? Automate everything, invest in cybersecurity, and just pray for a career in law. From chaos to commerce, Amazon's annual Accelerate conference showcased how tech can actually uplift, at least if you're a small seller rather than bonus warehouse worker. Independent sellers now account for over 60% of Amazon sales and have generated a mind-boggling 2.5 trillion in revenue since 2000, supporting 2 million plus US jobs. Amazon's secret sauce? Agentic AI. Imagine having an AI assistant that lists your products, plans your supply chain, recommends markdowns, and even creates video ads or marketing storyboards, all with a few prompts. This isn't AI storyboards. This isn't AI will take your job. Panic. Sellers at the conference told stories of transforming from local farmers markets to $1 million operations, all with Amazon's digital toolkit. The company's new multi-channel fulfillment even lets you ship Amazon stock to Walmart, Shopify, and even Shein, all rivals until recently. Welcome to the competition economy. Amazon's affordable housing initiative just hit 10,000 homes in Puget Sound alone, part of the 900 million in targeted investments. Community support is not just marketing anymore, it's a critical part of big business brand management. For deeper analysis, watch this conference keynote, Amazon Accelerate 2025 recap. But if you think entrepreneurship is all about giant platforms, think again. The sector is seeing a projected 20% increase in global startups for 2025. What's leading the change? Tech first, sustainability focused business models. 70% of companies are investing in digital transformation, especially in AI, IoT, mobile workforce automation. 75% of consumers prefer to buy from brands with real eco credits, so green credentials are now table stakes, not marketing fluff. Other trends include circular economy as a loyalty builder, discounts for all gear return, AI everywhere, from service dispatch to real time technician GPS routing, remote hybrid default for 70% of employees. Blockchain sneaks into supply chains for transparency and fraud prevention. If you're a founder, adapt or exit. The pace of change isn't just relentless, it's accelerating, baby. Come on. You gotta keep up or get out of my way. To Korea, where Samsung ninth annual AI forum brought luminaries Benjo, Erman, Kambakpati to reflect on agentic AI. What's that? AI that not only generates content but plans, reasons, learns over time, and literally acts to pursue your own goals. Sounds game changing. So game changing, in fact, that Montreal's Joshua Benjo rolled out the scientist AI concept, an AI focused solely on truth and verified knowledge, not human flattery. Why, you might ask? Because current generative models are creative liars and future risks. Everything from digital fraud to runaway decision making are becoming tangible. Day two focus on how agentic and vertical AIs will transform semiconductors, consumer electronics, and how we interact with the digital world. Samsung's own leap, AI empowered camera on device LLMs, large language models, for those who don't know, multilingual support, and doctor structured data automation. Conference highlight. Now, here comes a plot twist. Microsoft and OpenAI made waves by signing a memorandum allowing OpenAI to finally restructure itself as a public benefit corporation, no longer a weird nonprofit capped at profit hybrid. This sets OpenAI valued now at $500 billion for a probable IPO, initial public offering. Microsoft keeps preferred access for the foreseeable future, but OpenAI can now shop its wares to others, Oracle, Google, and lay the groundwork for global expansion. Regulators are circling around like California and Delaware, have legal questions about how the public benefit narrative squares with billions in revenue. There's ongoing litigation from past investors. Still, this could make OpenAI's former nonprofit one of the best funded charities in the world. A win for Sam Altman's legacy play. Good job, Sam. For sharp analysis, fortune on OpenAI Microsoft restructuring. Meanwhile, Oracle upended the cloud wars with a $300 billion 5-year AI infrastructure deal with OpenAI. Investors went wild, with Oracle stock rising 36% in a single day. The catch? Analysts say some say doomsayers worry the deal could be a house of cards. OpenAI's annual revenues $12 billion. Can't possibly foot a $60 billion per year capex bill for 5 years. Oracle needs GPUs. OpenAI needs cloud capacity. But both might be racing toward an AI bubble scenario. Time will tell if Ellison's $1 trillion bet is genius or just hubris. quantum computing from theoretical to experimental. Quantum heads rejoice. September saw the W state of quantum entanglement finally cracked by Japanese scientists. Why should you care? It unlocks not only teleportation protocols but also means more scalable and error tolerant quantum networks and computers. At the same time, Google achieved the first flock topologically ordered quantum phase with its 58 qubit machine, and Oxford linked two quantum processors into a single distributed quantum computer using photonic interface. Translation: the building blocks for tomorrow's quantum internet are being snapped into place right now. If you slept through the math in high school, don't worry. The robots will grok it for you by 2030. Don't let the androids have all the fun. Apple expanded its Apple Intelligence suite across iPhone, iPad, and Mac in
Massive
September. Live
expansion
translation
for
now works in
Apple
messages, FaceTime,
Intelligence
and phone calls
with
with
the
new language support
iOS
for Dutch,
26.1 beta,
Danish, Portuguese,
bringing
Swedish,
its
and Turkish.
powerful AI features
Visual
to
intelligence
a
lets you
whole
identify
new set
businesses,
of
translate or summarize
languages
text,
and
and search
upgrading
for similar
features
images via the
like
camera.
live
What
translate with
Samsung's been doing for what,
AirPods.
like a year or two now?
This
Emoji
is
Fusion,
huge
Genmoji,
for
and Shortcuts
millions
AI
of
integration are
users
also in the mix.
worldwide,
Hardware is also
making your
smarter. The Square
iPhone
24
and
megapixel front
AirPods
camera tracks
smarter
faces
and
and
more
out of frames for
accessible
both
than ever
vertical and
before.
horizontal shots. And auto zoom,
Then we're
rotate
shifting
employs
gears
AI to
to a
keep you looking
heartwarming
well,
community.
intentional. Explore to Korea, where Samsung's ninth annual AI forum brought luminaries Benjo Ehrman Kampari to reflect on agentic AI. What's that, you may ask? AI not only generates content but plans, reasons, learns over time, and literally acts in pursuit of its own goals. Can you believe that? Sounds game changing? So game changing, in fact, that Montreal's Joshua Benjo rolled out the scientist AI concept, an AI focused solely on truth and verified knowledge, not human flattery. Why? Because current generative models are creative liars and future risks. Everything from digital fraud to runaway decision making are becoming tangible. They too focus on how agentic and vertical AIs will transform semiconductors, consumer electronics, and how we interact with the digital world. Samsung's own Leap, AI empowered camera, on device LLMs, multilingual support, and docked to structured data automation. Conference highlight, live technical presentations, and Q&A. Catch the Samsung Dev channel. Microsoft OpenAI, partnership, restructuring, and potential IPO. Well, here's a plot twist. Microsoft and OpenAI made waves by signing a memorandum allowing OpenAI to finally restructure itself as a public benefit corporation. Google achieved the first Flacquet topologically ordered quantum phase with its 58 qubit machine, and Oxford linked two quantum processors into a single distributed quantum computer using photonic interface. Let me just translate that for you. The building blocks for tomorrow's quantum internet are being snapped into place right now. If you slept through math in high school, don't worry, the robots will grok it for you by 2030. I guarantee you that. AI driven intelligence expands features and languages. Don't let the androids have all the fun. Apple expanding its Apple Intelligence suite across iPhone, iPad, and Mac in September. Live translation now works in messages, FaceTime, and phone calls with new visual intelligence lets you identify businesses, translate or summarize text, and search for similar images via the camera. Emoji Fusion or Genmoji and Shortcuts AI integrations are also in the mix. Hardware also smarter. The Square 24 megapixel front camera tracks faces and auto frames for both vertical and horizontal shots and auto zoom rotate. Explore all Apple's new intelligence tools, which is called an Apple AI Guide. culture shocks, Emmy Awards, and trends that broke records. Emmy Awards 2025 Ceremony of First. Hollywood, for once delivered news worth talking about. The 77th Primetime Emmys became a banner year for representation and historic milestones. The studio tied the all time nominations record at 23 for a first year comedy, then swept with 13 wins, including Best Comedy Series and Best Writing Directing. For the first time, every nominee for Outstanding Writing for a Comedy Series had at least one woman on the team. Adolescence was named Best Limited Anthology Series, with Owen Cooper winning Supporting Actor, the youngest male in Emmy history to claim the trophy. Trammell Tillman became the first black man to win Outstanding Supporting Actor in a drama, Severance. Ted Danson, Mary's Timber, received the Bob Hope Humanitarian Award, a first for a couple. Live ceremony highlight. You can watch it on 2025 Emmy Awards on CBS. Now, let's talk about a little bit about the health and the environment. Hasai, or I should say Kasai Province Ebola outbreak. Rapid response amid crisis fatigue. Health headlines are rarely uplifting, but in the DRC's Kasai province, the World Health Organization and local authorities acted fast after a new Ebola outbreak was confirmed in early September. By September 15th, 2025, 32 suspected cases, 20 confirmed, 16 deaths, and 4 infected health workers had been reported. The outbreak is a new zoonotonic spillover unrelated to previous strains. Relief teams deployed hundreds of Ervebo vaccine doses within days, with 45,000 more on the way amid warnings that regional cross-border spread, notably to Angola, is a real risk. The bigger alarm, humanitarian response capacity is stretched thin after years of multiple crises and slash global funding. More on the response from World Health Organization can be found on their website called Ebola Update September 2025. Environmentalists rejoice. The UN's High Seas or Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Treaty hit the 60 country ratification threshold, meaning for the first time, nearly half the planet's surface will be subject to legally binding global conservation rules when the treaty takes effect in January 2026. This enables real, reinforceable marine protected areas, fair sharing of genetic resources, and a unified mechanism to tackle overfishing, piracy, pollution in global waters. For an ecosystem on the brink, this is rare, unmitigated with official announcement. But you can find it on United Nations News, High Seas Treaty ratified. Now, let's talk a little bit about sports mania, baby. La Vuelta en España, champion crowned amid protests. Finale, but not as planned. Denmark's Jonas Vingegaard won the Vuelta a España, yet the major finish was derailed, not by tactical crashes, but by pro-Palestinian protesters who stormed the road, bringing the finale to a halt. The stage win was declared null. The podium ceremony improvised in a hotel parking lot. Matt Peterson, Jay Vine, and American Matthew Richitelli were all denied their moment in the Madrid sun. For Vingegaard, it's a hat trick. He now owns Spain after 2 Tour de France titles. If you want to see pure euphoria, check the Eurobasket 2025 final. Germany, led by Dennis Schroeder, also named MVP, outlasted fierce Turkish squad 88-83 for their second European crown, adding to their 2023 World Cup gold. Schroeder scored the last 6 points in the clutch with Isaac Bonga and Franz Wagner lighting up the court alongside. Turkish scoring machine Alperen Sengun. The level of drama, lead changes, and big moment execution is why international hoops are drawing eyeballs from NBA diehards and global sports fans alike. TikTok trends, baby. Irony, intimacy, and the Beyonce carry Finally, for all the doom, here's what kept the internet weird in September 2025. Glow up transformations, dramatic jump cuts matched to Sabrina Carpenter's When Did We Get Hot? Creator swipe, a brush, then boom, full glam. Main character's energy for the max. Unfortunately, I do love Confessions. Guilty pleasures paired with a sheepish audio from Joe Walsh's Rocky Mountain Way. The more embarrassing, loving gas station nachos, the better. Gangsta walk meme, deadpan, awkward main character walk to Kilani's gangster, kicked off by Ophelia Isaac 6 with everyone, kids, grandparents, office drone, getting their wobble on? Come on. Talent is a pursued interest. Bob Ross is iconic. Talent is a pursued interest. Audio leads progress, slideshows. Self love plus side by side. See how far I came, carousels. Beyonce Carey, classic thirst trappers guys, sometimes real, sometimes strangers, lift woman one handed in a bridal style romantic flex. Pure clickbait, says my producer, but viral gold regardless. Brands and creators, come on. And that's the world right now. Chaotic, creative, and honestly, maybe a little bit cooked. We've seen a famine in Gaza, bots in your bank account, the democratization of power, and sad to say, fraud, and the digital echo chamber tilting hearts and policies from Ankara to Amazon, tucked between the existential dread, a TikTok dance, a snap to your basket net, and an ocean treaty that actually gives hope. If you want real talk, tune in every week. If you want the distraction, scroll TikTok. And if you want both, well, this is the RusNkaZ show, and I'm your host, Bam Bam, signing out before the next world ending story breaks. Remember, question the narrative, chase the fact, and never, ever settle for the safe story. Stay wild, stay tuned. See you next week, and only on the RusNkaZ show. Bye bye, bye bye.